Greetings. This is the one you've known as Jesus the Christ. Two qualities that belong to your divine nature are strength and courage. These are valuable gifts you've been given to navigate this life. They were given to you to facilitate your spiritual evolution, for without them, the discouragement and sense of lack of the egoic imprinting could overwhelm you and keep you trapped in that state of consciousness. Strength and courage are two keys to unlocking your freedom from the oppressive egoic state. The egoic state is the path of least resistance because it is your default state. When you're following the voice in your head, you're marching to the ego, and the ego's sense of life is one of lack, of never having or being enough. That sense of never being enough is a sense of weakness, of not having what you need to overcome the challenges in life, always wanting more than what you have and not seeing what you do have. The ego's perspective is like going through life with blinders on. You see through a lens that is narrow and limiting. The ego's perspective is one in which you don't recognize, acknowledge, or even utilize the gifts you've been given to overcome the difficulties and challenges you face in life. Although there's a lot that is challenging in life, every single one of you is very well equipped to handle life's difficulties and challenges. You are equipped with all the inner qualities you need, and strength and courage are two of the most important qualities you've been given. They are the antidote to the misunderstandings and perceptions of the ego, the misunderstanding that you're lacking, that life is lacking, that others are lacking, and that life should be different than the way it is. When you agree with the ego's perceptions, you find yourself in a sad and unhappy state. The antidote to such a limiting and oppressing perspective is strength and courage, which allow for the possibility that you can act in ways other than your programming and the conditioned ways you've been taught. Not believing and not following the programming takes courage and strength because you're going against not only your own conditioning but other people's. Most people are following the path of least resistance, or the voice in their head. It has you go toward power, security, superiority, and getting more of everything. The sense of never having enough and needing to get more, even if that means taking from someone else, is the ego's perspective and your programming. It's where you go naturally. Without some resistance to the path of least resistance, you'll suffer. The perception that life is lacking, fearful, unhappy, difficult, and oppressive produces unhappiness and conflict in your relationships, where you're constantly striving to be better than or have more than someone else. That is not a happy state, and it doesn't lead to happiness for anyone. The perception that you're lacking is misguided and untrue. It is a lie. It is even a lie that life is difficult. Life is made so much more difficult by the ego's limiting and negative perceptions. Without those, the difficulties in life would be much better managed. You would have access to not only your inner resources to handle those difficulties, but also the support and camaraderie of others who could help you. If you were to move out of your default, you would move into a sense of oneness and unity with all, and you would wish harmony and prosperity for all, and work to deliver harmony and prosperity for all. You would work for each other, not just for yourself. This would ease the burdens in society and in life tremendously. The ego's limited and untrue perspective causes suffering and makes life ever so difficult. You've been programmed to suffer, but you need not continue to suffer. You are here to overcome suffering. Your work is to overcome your programming, your default, and to learn to see life truly. Going against the default within yourself and against those who are following their default requires strength and courage. It takes tremendous courage to act in ways that go against what others believe is true. Others believe their thoughts, and they suffer accordingly. If you don't agree with them in their need to suffer, they can easily perceive that as unsupportive, when you're just pointing the way to a happier life. Not falling prey to the misbeliefs of your own mind and other people's minds, you have to be willing to see the truth and not follow false ideas. All the beliefs that create the shame, the hatred, the blame, the jealousy, and the desire for revenge. Those beliefs lead you astray. They don't take you or anyone else to peace and happiness, only away from that. Others who believe in blame, jealousy, revenge, hatred, and superiority do not want you to question your beliefs. They don't want you to confront them. They don't want you to live another way. So it takes courage and strength to live according to your own truth, according to the truth. What is courage? It is the capacity to stay true to the truth, regardless of opposition. Do you know what the truth is? Do you know what truth is? That is one of the big lessons in life, to discover both your own personal truth and the truth in general. You are very blessed to be seeing the truth to the extent that you do. You are very blessed indeed, because so many don't understand what life is all about. They don't understand what you understand. So to come to the truth is a great, great blessing. But then it takes courage and inner strength to hold to that truth. It isn't enough to know the truth. You have to live that truth, be true to it. That takes courage. Courage comes from knowing the truth deeper than just intellectually. It is part of your spiritual development to move from an intellectual understanding of the truth to knowing the truth within your being, to aligning with the truth to such an extent that you cannot move otherwise, to where you cannot be moved any longer by the false. You get to a point in your spiritual evolution when the truth must be followed. It is felt so strongly within you that you can't go against it. When you reach this point, you are very far along the road indeed. Before you get to that point, you'll waver and go back to the default at times, and then you discover again how false it is. There's no mistake even in that. It's fine if you go back to the false. Of course you will. You will naturally falter. You will naturally slide back into the default. But you won't be able to stay there for long. You won't be able to stay true to the false. Not for long. The thoughts in your thought stream are lies. There are so many lies in your thought stream that it's best to consider your thought stream to be lies, or at the very least, useless, so that you aren't tempted to believe any one of those thoughts. To be who you are, who you came here to be, it isn't necessary to attend to the thoughts in your thought stream. Those very thoughts are what interfere with being who you can be, who you are meant to be. And so, it's fine to consider them all lies or useless, because the few neutral or positive thoughts in your thought stream are not necessary either. Find the place within you that knows how to move according to what is true. Get to know that place within yourself. Get to know this through meditation, silence, and through listening, not to the mind, but to the more subtle sense of yourself. Get to know who you are. Who you are is an experience. Who you are is the experience of being, of existing, of I amness. Who you are is what is listening to these words. Be that simple. Be courageous enough to be that simple, to not follow the thoughts that others are following, to not follow the desires and values that most people live by, the values of power, superiority, and accumulation. You don't need those values. They take you away from happiness. Follow the values of your true self, which are simply love and peace. Love, peace, and unity are your true nature. When you go in the direction of love, peace, and unity, you will have the life you're meant to live. Stay true to your inner compass. Tap into the courage and strength you've been given. Experience what courage and strength are like on a subtle level. What do they feel like? You know them. Focus on them, and they will become your companions. You can turn to this strength and courage in times of difficulty to uplift yourself. Learn to turn inward to the gifts you've been given, which will uplift you and help you overcome any difficulties or challenges. You are so much stronger than you know. Discover this strength and stay true to it, because it is a trusty compass. If you ask for our help in activating your strength and courage, it will be given. Make this intention, make this prayer, and you will receive the help you need. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your openness. We are with you always.